Last year, ransomware cost businesses over $20 billion. Not through some Hollywood-style hack. No wall of green code. No genius in a basement cracking a mainframe in 30 seconds. Most of the time, it starts with one email. One person clicking one link on a Tuesday afternoon. This is how a single attack actually works. Every stage, from the first search to the final payout. And why it keeps working.
You go by Ghost 9. Nobody knows your real name. Not the people who work for you, not the people paying you. Not the 4 separate law enforcement agencies with open files on you. You've never met a single person you work with. You've never seen the inside of a company you've destroyed. In 72 hours, you'll be $3.2 million richer. And a company that's existed for 41 years will be deciding which 500 people to lay off. It starts on a Monday, and it starts with homework.
You don't pick your targets. You research them. Too small, and there's no money. Too big, and they've got a real security team, insurance lawyers, and the kind of budget that makes you a problem worth solving. The sweet spot is a company big enough to hurt, small enough to fold. Tech Industries, $2.4 billion in revenue, 900 employees, manufacturing, 41 years old. 41 years is what you're looking for. Old company, old systems, decades of software nobody's touched because it still technically works. You spend 6 days reading their annual report, their job listings. Those tell you exactly what software they run. LinkedIn for the org chart, their press releases. By Sunday, you know their finance department better than most of the people in it.
You don't need to break in. You need someone to open the door. His name is Dave, 62, accounts payable, 19 years at the company, 2 kids in college. He processes invoices, and he's been doing it long enough that he does it fast. The email arrives at 4:40 on a Tuesday, late enough that he's tired, early enough that he hasn't stopped working. The sender is accounts@merry-tech-billing.com. Look at it quickly, and it's the company's own domain. Look at it slowly, and it isn't. Subject line, invoice overdue, urgent. Nobody wants to be the person who let an invoice go unpaid. He clicks it at 4:41. Nothing happens. No warning, no error. The file just doesn't open, and Dave assumes it's corrupted, and he moves on with his day. On your screen, a new line appears. One connected machine. You're inside.
Here's what Tech doesn't know. They've got antivirus, they've got a firewall, they've got an IT department. 4 people for 900 employees. They've also got a backup system that writes to a network drive. Same network, same building, connected 24 hours a day. That backup is the only thing standing between them and paying you, and they've plugged it directly into the thing you're about to destroy. They did a security review in 2019. It recommended offline backups and mandatory multi-factor authentication. It was approved, it was budgeted, it never got finished. That unfinished project is worth $3.2 million to you. Amateurs encrypt immediately. Amateurs get $100,000. You wait. For 11 days, you do almost nothing. You watch. You learn which machine belongs to who. You find out that IT does maintenance on Thursday nights and nobody's watching the logs on weekends. You find the finance director's credentials sitting in a spreadsheet called passwords.xlsx. You move sideways, one machine at a time, quiet enough that nothing flags. Every day you're in there, you're mapping what matters, and more importantly, what would hurt most to lose. By day 9, you have administrator access to the entire network. By day 11, you have something better. You know exactly where their backups live. And you're going to encrypt those first. Before you lock anything, you steal everything. This is the part most people don't know about. Modern ransomware isn't just about locking files. It's about copying them first. 240 gigabytes, employee records, social security numbers, customer contracts, product designs, internal emails, including the ones where executives said things they'd never want printed. You take it out slowly, over 4 nights, in pieces small enough to look like normal traffic.
Because you need two forms of leverage, not one. If they restore from backup, you still have their data. If they refuse to pay, you publish it. Now they can't win by being prepared. They can only win by being lucky.
2:14 a.m., Saturday. You pick the time carefully. The building is empty. IT is asleep. The soonest anyone notices is Monday morning, and by then there's nothing left to notice with. You run it. Backups first, then file servers, then workstations, then the email system, so they can't warn each other, then the phone system, so they can't call each other. 900 screens go dark and come back with the same message. Your files have been encrypted. Do not attempt to restore. Contact us within 72 hours. A countdown starts. 71 hours, 59 minutes, 47 seconds. Monday morning, a plant supervisor arrives at 6 a.m. to start a production line that cannot start. Then 400 people arrive who can't do their jobs. By 9:30, the CFO, David Chen, is standing in a boardroom telling the executive team that the company has effectively stopped existing. They try the backups at 10:15. The backups are encrypted too.
Here's the part that surprises people. You have a support portal. It has a live chat window. It works better than most banks. Because this isn't rage. It's not revenge. It's a transaction. And transactions need customer service. David Chen logs in at 2 p.m. Monday, and he's not talking to a monster. He's talking to a chat window that responds in under a minute and is unfailingly polite. He asks for proof you have the data. You send 3 files: personnel records, his own salary, his own emails. He asks for more time. You extend by 12 hours, free of charge. Because you understand something he doesn't yet. He's not deciding whether to pay you. He's discovering how long it takes to accept that he's already going to. 50 Bitcoin, roughly $3.25 million. Their insurance covers 2.1 of it. A recovery firm quotes them $11 million in 9 months. Every day offline costs them $400,000. The maths does the negotiating for you. At 3:40 on Wednesday afternoon, 47 hours into the countdown, David Chen authorizes the payment. There's a group, call them the developers, who build the encryption software, run the payment portal, maintain the chat support, and keep the leak site online. They never attack anyone. They're a platform. You're an affiliate. You bring the victim. You do the break-in. And when the money lands, the split is automatic. 70% to you, 30% to them. There's a negotiator who handled David Chen because you're not good at that part and he is. He takes 5%. And there's the man who sold you Dave's email address in the first place, an access broker. He got paid $4,000 3 weeks ago and has no idea what happened next. He doesn't know Marytech exists. Nobody in this chain has met anybody else. Most of them only ever see their own piece of it. It's structured exactly like a legitimate software company, because that structure is what lets it scale. It's also, eventually, what makes it collapse.
Getting paid is easy. Keeping it is the hard part. 50 Bitcoin arrives at a wallet that has existed for 6 hours and will be abandoned in 12. Then it moves, split into 40 pieces, through a mixing service, into a second exchange under a stolen identity, converted, split again, converted back. By the time it lands somewhere you can actually spend it, it's passed through 11 wallets in 6 countries and looks like it came from nowhere. You send the decryption key. You always send the key. Not out of honor, because your entire business depends on the next company believing that paying works. Your reputation is the product.
So how does anyone ever catch these people? Almost never through the technology, through the boring stuff. The mixing services get seized, and when they do, investigators get years of transaction records, including the ones from people who thought they were untraceable at the time. Someone reuses a username from a forum account they made when they were 19. Someone's VPN drops for 4 seconds during a transfer.
and 4 seconds is enough. Someone brags, someone tells a girlfriend, someone gets arrested for something completely unrelated, and law enforcement finds the wallet keys on their laptop. And crucially, these are teams. Dozens of people who've never met, who all know a piece of the operation. Every single one of them is a person who could be arrested and offered a deal. The average ransomware operator isn't caught by a genius investigator cracking their encryption. They're caught because one of the 40 people they worked with decided that cooperating was better than 15 years. It takes years, but the files stay open, and the blockchain doesn't forget.
Meritech gets their files back. 8 days later, they're partially operational. The stock drops 42%. 3 months later, 500 layoffs. David Chen resigns in November. Dave takes early retirement in the spring. Nobody blames him publicly. He blames himself anyway. 19 years, and he'll spend the rest of his life describing himself as the guy who clicked the link. Total cost? Ransom, downtime, legal, recovery, lost contracts? Just under $10 million. All of it from one email at 4:41 on a Tuesday. Now here's the part that should bother you. Ghost9 didn't beat their security. He walked through 3 doors that were already open. The credentials worked because there was no second step. One password was the entire wall. The backups died because they were plugged into the same network they were supposed to protect. A backup connected to the thing it's backing up isn't a backup. It's a second copy waiting in line. And the door itself opened because a tired man at 4:41 on a Tuesday read a domain name quickly instead of slowly. 3 things. None of them expensive, none of them clever. Meritech knew about all 3. It's in the 2019 review. Approved, budgeted, and never finished. Because unfinished security work doesn't cost anything until the day it costs $10 million. Ghost9 is still out there. He's got a file open with 4 different agencies, and the blockchain doesn't forget. But he's not the reason this worked.
The reason this worked is that somebody, somewhere, decided it could wait until next quarter